Now this module will take us one step ahead. We will explore two types of sexism, especially when we use sexist language, gendered language, the language that is not neutral with reference to gender in public. So that is problematic. We have to mend it. So how we use gender biased language in public? We use it in two ways. There are two ways of sexism. Number one, sexism may be overt, it may be open, and it is shown by use of certain words and expressions. Number two, it may be indirect, it may be hidden, and we can understand this type of sexism when we explore the context in which certain words and expressions are used. This is called indirect sexism. Feminists think that if we correct sexist language, it is just correction of language. We can change the gender order working behind the language. So if we correct sexist language, so it is like correcting grammar, it is like correcting spelling mistakes. So it is like a language correction. But our task is not finished with it. Our task goes much beyond that. We should attack the ideology that makes people use sexist language. So we can change, if we change this language, if we correct this language, so we can change the gender order, the gender ideology that is working behind this kind of language. For overt reform, that is open, what they did, what feminists did, they prepared lists of sexist words and they gave these words to lexicographers, the people who compile dictionaries. They gave to the editors of dictionaries and told them that you should alert your users about the use of these words because they carry certain gender preferred meanings. Another form of sexism that is overt, that is open. First form was a use of certain words and expressions, and to cope with that, they prepared lists and they gave those lists to lexicographers. The second kind of open sexism is hate speech. Now this term was first used in US and then it came to UK. What is hate speech? Hate speech is that use of language which stimulates violence, which triggers violence against some minority group or some other group of a particular race or ethnicity or of sexual identity, etc. So any talk that creates violence, that instigates people to commit violence, that is called hate speech. In LGS, in language, gender and sexuality, hate speech is confined to offense against sexual identity. Sexual identity, gender, this term means male and female, and sexuality, it means male, female, and other sexual groups. This term is different from gender. Okay. So in LGS, in our field, hate speech is particularly relevant to sexual identity. There are laws in UK and US to stop hate speech. It is something punishable by law in these countries. But it is often confused with freedom of speech. This is the tragedy. Whenever someone is accused of hate speech, there are certain groups, there is media to support that person or group that, okay, this is not hate speech, the person has used her right of freedom of speech. So recent events which took place in 2023, this year I mean, of Quran burning in Sweden and Denmark, they are such kind of things which we are talking about.